This is Steve and Joan Schorsch of Chicago and their Honda. And these are their children and their Hondas. But then Steve and Joan always said, nothing but the best for our kids.
When it comes to designing and manufacturing high-quality precision materials for industry, custom-made components of almost any material, design, or specification, there's one company that makes them for all of these. No, GTE.
It's an early season collision between two of the nation's premier teams. The Fighting Illini of Illinois take on the North Carolina Tar Heels next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Lockhart is up and moving around on the sideline. Steve Diassi replaced him at middle linebacker, and here they go. Big play now. 3rd down 7 for Philadelphia.
You might see a rule out here. Let's see if they do it. Well, they got the tight end on the right side. They got a lot of room on the left side. Let's see what they decide to do. Uh-oh, now they change the formation to the left side. Whoop! They go back the other way. They're going to roll, but roll to the
Kenny
right.
Jackson. He is in for the touchdown. Boy, they executed that beautifully.
Boy, they did. I tell you, they crossed everybody up because the wide side of the field was to the left where you have a lot of room, and he looked like he was going to go back to the left side. Then they went back right, roll right, and got it right in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, right at the flag. Here he comes. Here he rolls to the right, and look at the great anticipation. Gets rid of the ball quickly, gets the ball right out to the outside, and he knows where he is, steps into the end zone for the touchdown. Everson Walls, number 24, trying to cover on the play.
5th touchdown catch of the year for Kenny Jackson. We mentioned the last couple of games he'd only caught 1 ball, but that's a big one. McFadden, who's had 2 field goals, adds a point after. And for the 2nd time in this game, the Eagles have the lead. Very impressive call on that particular play. 13-7, the Eagles.
You begin with raw steel. Shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it to razor-sharp perfection. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines.
You know what Santa Claus and a quarterback have in common? We're only successful if our receivers are happy. So I take care of the hands, take care of me, with isotoner gloves. From the hefty running backs to the tall ends, isotoners fit them all. These guys, they love to get isotoners. The only time they receive something without getting knocked down. So this season, take care of the hands that take care of you with isotoner gloves.
The Civic 4-door sedan. Let's back into it slowly. Last, there's a roomy trunk. Next to last, room for adults in back. Then a comfortable driver's seat. And up front, a low hood for better visibility. Now you've got something to look forward to.
Kenny Jackson with that touchdown catch a moment ago. Look back in this game right now, Hank, and the Dallas kicking game has really disappeared. Saxon was averaging 32 yards before he had that last one blocked.
You know, and you get the feeling that the defense isn't playing badly, but you get the feeling that the offense of the Cowboys kind of a grab bag thing. They just haven't established anything, nothing personality-wise at all. You don't know, you have any idea what they're going to do.
Well, you take away that 84-yard run, and that's been it.
And that was just great individual effort on Herschel's part.
Cowboys bringing it out. That's Levette again, and that's Giles who made the tackle. Both Giles and Schultz Two guys you don't hear a lot about have really contributed in this third quarter. Well, looking ahead, next Sunday on CBS Sports, it's an NFL doubleheader of the final week. It all starts with the NFL today at 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern, followed by either Washington at Philadelphia or New Orleans at Minnesota in Game 1. Then followed in the second game of the doubleheader, where the Bears will come here to Texas Stadium to take on the Cowboys. And the way this game is going and the way that San Francisco-New England game is going, that's going to be a very big football game.
You know, I just can't for the life of me figure out why Dallas hasn't used more play-action passes on 1st and 10. They started doing it, were very successful. Now they got away from it, haven't done it for a long, long time.
The 26, Dorsett. Dorsett gets some operating room out to the 32. Terry Hogue made the stop. Well, this game has been a sellout, Hank, for 2 months. However, there were 17,172 no-shows, and that is a Texas Stadium record. And it again shows you that the fans like a winner.
It's the only thing that really matters. Just make sure you do one thing, win the game. The only thing that really matters, just win the game.
We're the real Dallas Cowboys. Well, part of the real Dallas Cowboys standing on the sideline is Danny White. Second down now, 4 yards to go. Lure, he's in trouble. Reggie White buries him. The ball is fumbled. The Cowboys have recovered. They're booing Pallure, but I'm telling you, Hank, there just wasn't much going there.
There's no way in the world. Reggie White got penetration again. He had no place to go, nothing to do. He fumbled the ball, but he got hit. You got to have time to throw the ball and be able to follow through and make the delivery. Watch it again. Okay, look at the penetration. They get a good push. And watch outside. Reggie White gets knocked down. He comes back from the backside, makes the tackle, and knocks the ball loose in the process. A great effort by Reggie White because he was on the ground and came up and made the play.
You got to feel sorry for Pallure. Things are not going well. And as you said so many times, Hank, you get too much of the credit, too much of the blame at that spot.
Yeah, they start booing the quarterback, and he has, you know, it's ridiculous to boo him because he wasn't responsible for what happened.
From the 27 now, Pallure wants a timeout. He wants a timeout, and he got it just before we had a delay of game. Timeout. Now, I want to correct something, Hank. We had some information that's not correct. That is not a Texas Stadium no-show record. The record is 21,580. That was a wild card playoff game versus the Rams. So there were 17,172 no-shows today. So
I think we did that game. I think we did the game. Maybe that's why they had the no-shows.
Let's look at Reggie White. We've talked so much about him, and he has obviously been a force in this game as he's been all year long. Great second effort. What a pleasant guy to visit with. He's an impressionist. We've talked about that, the imitations that he does. He's a licensed Baptist minister. He is one of those guys that, as the year has worn on, he's just gotten better and better.
Well, the key, forget about all the other things he does. Forget about all those things. The number one thing about him is he has a great, great attitude. He's an attitude player. Yep. Along with a great ability, he's a great attitude player.
He runs a 4.69 40, Hank, and he weighs 288 pounds. That's a deadly combination. By the way, an update. The 49ers now have taken the lead over New England, 19-17. Cleveland, well, looks like they're going to clinch the division. Bernie Kosar's really coming on, isn't he?
Yeah, they're playing well. I tell you, they're sneaking up on people and have played very, very well the last few weeks. And this is really no surprise because of the way they played and the way Kosar's been playing.
So Cleveland will be moving into the playoff picture. That AFC really scrambled. Third down now, 9 yards to go. Lure will operate out of the spread or the shotgun if you prefer. Pressure coming. He got it off to Walker. Walker's going to get the first down with a good second effort. Herschel Walker out to the 40. Giles made the stop.
This is what makes him such a great back. Look at the misses. Now look at the misses. Watch it. Look at the stunt. Look at Clark coming around the outside, and he gets there just a little bit too late. But watch. Deliver the ball to Herschel Walker. Now watch right here. He gets a shot and runs right through the would-be tackler. Another two guys hit him, but after they get hit, he still makes another 6 yards.
That's 6 catches for 62 yards. He was 11 shy of a club record for a season. Tony Hill has that with 74.
Now they ought to come back with it. Oh, here they're coming outside again.
Dorsett trying to get outside, and there's just nothing going. Again, Hank, you try to go wide on these guys, and they are really tough.
Well, the other thing that's surprising is that Tony Dorsett is hesitating a little bit, trying to do a little jig in there, trying to decide where to go. By the time he makes a decision, everybody's there, and the stadium falls in on him. You know, usually he's very decisive, but to where they're pursuing, he hasn't been very decisive, and I think somewhere along the line, with better field position, a reverse of some kind could be very appropriate.
You know, it's funny. You'll look at him, and he looks indecisive, and the next time he'll break one on you for 50 yards.
That's the personality of a great back.
Second down now, virtually 10 yards to go after that last play, approaching the end of the third quarter. Lure with a lot of time. Walker again. Good open field attempt by Reichenbach. He broke that tackle. Joyner knocks him out of bounds, but Reichenbach had him stopped 5 yards short of the first down, and now we're going to have a personal foul against the Eagles in front of the Cowboy bench.
See, the play itself is really not that impressive. What happens once he catches the ball is the thing that makes an impression. Reichenbach has in good position to make the tackle, and he bounces right off of it.
Number 29 in the defense. He was hit out of bounds.
Waters
First down.
trying to plead the case for the Eagles, but it's fouled with the personal foul. Let's see if we can pick it up here. That's Joyner on the tackle, and here comes fouls. Yep, that's what he did. He hit him was out of bounds. 15-yard gain plus a 15-yard penalty. Total of 30-yard gain on the play, and all of a sudden now they're in business, as you would say, just short of the 30.
Yeah, but the key was Reichenbach had a great shot and missed. He just ran right through it.
Well, I tell you what, there's been a lot of guys that he's run through, though. You'll see more of that. You just bounce off of it. First down now, 2 seconds left in this quarter. Rolling out, getting some time. End zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Renfro.
Watch Renfro now coming down the right side of your screen, gets off the line of scrimmage. He's kind of sneaky. Look, he makes a move, and see, a double move is effective on Roynell Young. We mentioned that a little while ago. Gets up the field, the ball is thrown right on the money. He makes the catch, touchdown, Cowboys. But again, you're not going to run right by Roynell Young. You got to make some kind of a double move. That was effective, and they get the touchdown.
Boy, he rolled out and got that additional time, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Renfro with his second touchdown catch of the year. He's been hurt this year on the injured reserve list the first 4 weeks.
You know, funny thing happened in the high school championship game last night. Somebody went into the locker room of the team that was losing, and he said it was Mike Renfro. He gave the team a big pep talk.
Well, anyway, he scores a big touchdown, as now it's a 14-13 score at the end of the third quarter. We now pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Since the very beginning, mankind has worshipped the sun. And in eastern sunny Caribbean, they still do. Eastern, we're the one to the sun.
Anyone who subscribes to the theory that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line has obviously never driven a Porsche.
See your local authorized Porsche dealer.
If there's one thing I've tried to teach my linebackers over the years, it's don't get faked out. Hold your ground, keep your head up, use your eyes, then pursue. Same goes for businesses. If you want to reach customers when they're ready to buy, the Genuine Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages is the book you want. If you want your ad to hit with maximum impact, don't be fooled. Advertise in the Genuine Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. They wrote the book.
Eagles Wrap Up, today at 4:30.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chrysler Plymouth. We're working together to be the best. And by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this.
So the Cowboys now enjoy a 1-point lead, 14-13, after that 30-yard touchdown pass from Pelluer to Renfro. Stepien will be kicking off again. Crawford goes back deep. And he's joined back there by Todolatasi. And here comes Junior. And he's out to the 31. Well, Hank, you said it would be a day of big plays. The first one occurring back in the first half, this 84-yard touchdown run by Herschel Walker.
Walker and Timmy Newsom makes a key block, and there's some missed tackles on the inside. And once he gets a step, it's all over, which is very obvious. He goes all the way, 84 yards for the touchdown, and the Cowboys go ahead 73.
That's the longest run from scrimmage. And now, just moments ago, a 30-yard touchdown pass to Mike Renfro.
See, he makes a double move, a right and up on Roynell Young. The ball is thrown inside, makes the catch for the touchdown.
From the 31 now, the Eagles playing catch-up again. In motion is Fire. Play action. Cavanaugh wide open is Johnson. And Johnson has a first down catch out to the 43-yard line. Lockhart flying back there. Also Everson Walls. First down, though, and there's that play action, Hank, that you were looking for. It set it up very well.
Yeah, I'm surprised the way they're rushing and the way they react to what they see. A play action should be very effective, very efficient, and they haven't really run it or thrown it very often at all.
Johnson playing in place of the injured Mike Quick. Little offense. Walker, 191 of those. Well, it doesn't surprise you. There's a give to Tony. Tony smacks off the left-hand side. Lockhart, who's shaken up on that previous series, has come back in now to make 2 tackles back-to-back.
You know what they're doing? They're double-teaming Randy White, and they're leaving the middle linebacker free, and they expect the back to either cut behind the flow of the middle linebacker, or if he gets tied up inside, to go outside. But that time Lockhart wasn't fooled. It was right at the perfect angle and made the play. Randy White, 9 tackles and 1 quarterback sack.
Not to mention the hurries he's had back there. Second down now, 7 yards to go. Cavanaugh, protection, he lost the ball. I don't know what happened, but it got away from him. Randy White is on top of it.
The ball just slipped out of his hand. He went back to throw the ball, had it cocked, and it slipped right out of his hand and fell down to the turf and was recovered by Randy White of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it's been raining off and on today. The field has been wet. And Cavanaugh, that time, about time he's ready to release it. Let's look at it. It got away from him.
Watch it. He goes up with the ball. Now watch it. He brings it up. Here he comes. He steps up into the pocket, brings it up, and it slips right out of his hand in the process, and they recover. Talking about the Cowboys, they have possession on the plus 37.
With a 1-point lead. Dallas would like to capitalize on here. Pelluer, he's in trouble. Oh, man, is he in trouble. That's the 3rd sack of the game. Tom Struthers, number 93, is there. 98, Greg Brown. He just had no chance whatsoever on this play.
Watch the middle. Watch the middle. Look at the surge of the defensive people. Look at Reggie White. Nobody blocks him except he comes in late. Gets a piece of him late, but he gets the penetration. I tell you, if you don't get in front of White, you're not going to block him from the side. He's too big and too strong, and if you give him a shoulder, he's going to knock it right out of there.
Let me ask you something. Who wants to get in his way?
Well, I don't know, but that's why they're playing the game. Somebody better want to get in his way.
Second down now, 19. 3 men are right there. Brown, Struthers, along with White. Here's Pelluer. Time to throw, and Waters trying to come up with the ball. The completion is made. That's Mike Sherrard fighting for the football, making the catch at the 36-yard line. Still got a ways to go for that first down.
I tell you, you can't get better coverage than that. Look at Sherrard come off the line of scrimmage. Waters is underneath, running with him. He makes the stop. Watch the ball. He comes back for the ball, and Waters is right there. And his first catch today, but a beautiful catch there by Sherrard, number 86.
It's been shut down, his first catch. Brings up now a 3rd and 7. He had 34 coming into the game. He became a starter Thanksgiving Day And you're going to hear a lot about this number 1 draft pick out of UCLA. 3rd down, 7 now from the 34.
He might even try to roll here. I don't know. No, they're going to go back to the pocket. He's got time.
Yes, he does, but it's going to be intercepted. That's Alonzo Johnson, their 2nd-round draft pick out of Florida. That's a very big athletic move and a big turnover after that fumble earlier by Kavanaugh.
It's not only a good athletic move, it's a great catch, great interception. That's what it is. Alonzo Johnson, 54. You're right, Gary. A great move on the part of Alonzo Johnson, number 54. He's got plenty of time to throw the ball this time, too. Look it. He steps, throws, follows through, and there's the ball, and there's Alonzo Johnson making the interception. And he's able, they're trying to knock it out of his hand, but he still maintains possession.
Impressive effort by Johnson. That is his 3rd interception. And the Eagles have it at the 30-yard line.
Introducing the unbelievable American under $7,800, the Plymouth Sundance Series. Plymouth Sundance, the best value of any car in its class, including the imports. 47 standard features to convince you, 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan to assure you. Plymouth Sundance, the unbelievable American under $7,800.
The pride is back, born in America again.
Fire brewing. It's more than a way to make Stroh's and Stroh Light. It's a family tradition, passed down from one generation to another for over 200 years. It's what guarantees that smooth, consistent taste for generations to come.
Now you're talking Stroh. Now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here.
No battery has the energy to outrun the Energizer, even in a toy robot.
It's a run, 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 it's a run, run. The Energizer. It's a run, 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 it's a run, run.
No battery outruns the Energizer.
Well, when you've lost 3 in a row, you have a lot of missed opportunities. And that last opportunity is the 7th time they haven't scored following a turnover. Alonzo Johnson coming up with the interception, setting it up now at the Eagles' 30-yard line. 14-13 Dallas. 12:03 left in the game. Spagnola comes in motion. Myers, he's straightened up and driven backwards. That's Lockhart again. Lockhart with excellent reaction will bring up a 2nd down.
The problem, as I mentioned earlier, Gary, they're finally double-teaming Randy White and leaving Lockhart free. And with him being free, nobody blocking him, he's right there to make the tackle.
He had 10 tackles and a sack in the first Eagles game. Leading tackler coming into this game. They call him our equalizer. He's equalized a few things in this last 2 or 3 series. It'll bring up 2nd down, 9.
This way, see if they do something this way. Nope, now they're changing the formation to a pass formation. There it is.
Kavanaugh. That's David Little, the tight end, and he'll go out of bounds just across the 35-yard line. That'll be almost 5 yards short of the 1st down and come to a 3rd down. Little started last week when Spagnola was hurt.
Well, at least, you know, you got a better situation with 3rd and 5. They've had to go 3rd and 10 most of the time all afternoon on a 3rd down situation. They've reduced it to 5 in this particular series, and now they have a chance to do something reasonable and not have to travel that far, except just go 5 yards or more. They have to go more than 5, of course, to make the 1st down.
3rd down and 5 right now as they have Jackson split to the near side. Ron Johnson to the top for the screen.
Boy, look at that middle.
That's Tony in motion. Flying on the play, I think the right tackle moved for Philadelphia. I think it was Joe Conwell, number 79, who set up the pass block before the ball was snapped.
That's exactly who it was, Gary. Right tackle. I think it was, too.
Boy, does that hurt you, though. Big 3rd and 5, and you make a move like that.
Just kills you.
False start. Number 79 on the offense. 3rd down will be repeated.
Conwell is one of those guys who's had to become a starter due to some injuries, in particular Leonard Mitchell, who's undergone arthroscopic surgery on his knee. Conwell played for the USFL Baltimore Stars. They were the champions. He has started now the last 4 games at right tackle after missing 6 weeks with a fractured toe.
Now they got the 7 defensive backs in the game. Let's see how they challenge this.
3rd down and 10. Blitz coming. Holloway, they picked it up. And good coverage that time by Walls on Kenny Jackson. Well, that penalty really hurts you. It changes your play call. It changes everything. And now they got to punt the football. Let me ask you something, Coach. Do you think the Cowboys would think about, even though they got a 1-point lead, bringing Reggie Collier in? They said he was ready for this game.
Yeah, no, they won't. I don't think so. No way in the world I put him in under these conditions. He hadn't played all year long. And to put him in a game where they have to win, I don't think they could justify to do it. I think if they were way ahead or way behind, they would. But in this kind of a game, as being as close as it is, with all the defensive variations, I don't think they'd put him in.
Lure suffering 2 interceptions today. Throwing that last one. Punt by Telchik. Gordon Banks fields it inside the 30. And down there very quickly to make that stop was Michael Haddix. Also help arriving that time by William Frizzell. 41-yard punt.
When you're behind the wheel in LeBaron GTS, it's nice to know GTS excelled in handling in a U.S. Auto Club test, did 0 to 50 in 5.63 seconds, triumphed in braking, and gave BMW and Mercedes something they never expected, a driving lesson. GTS comes sensibly priced with Chrysler's protection plan. You don't drive LeBaron GTS the way USAC did, but it's nice to know you could. Chrysler, driving to be the best.
The 35mm automatic one-touch from Nikon. It puts great photography at everybody's fingertips. The Nikon 35mm Action Touch. The waterproof, all-weather, automatic camera that puts great photography at everybody's fingertips.
Glacier Bay, Alaska, and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Glacier Bay means the one and only Alaskan king crab, sweet, fresh, and big. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer, cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer, and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place. An Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Guys, it doesn't get any better than this.
The simple mention of his initials, LT, evokes a quarterback's most dreaded nightmare. The Packers meet Lawrence Taylor and the Giants next Saturday on CBS Sports.
With 10:58 to go, Dallas has the football now, protecting a 1-point lead and protecting their hopes to make it to the playoffs. They've got to win today. Next week against the Bears. Hope the 49ers lose twice and the Vikings once to get into the playoffs. Steve Pallur remains in at quarterback from the 34-yard line. Herschel Walker, already over 100 yards for the day, comes across the 40. Terry Hogue, again, making the stop. He now has 121 yards on 5 carries. We mentioned San Francisco. What about the Giants, who have already captured the NFC East, beating up on the Cardinals?
I think anytime you play as well, they're playing defensively. Green Bay's playing much better, too. They're coming on.
Well, they hadn't had those blocked punts and this snap last week. They might have done better. Look at this. How about that? Vinny Testaverde was here today. They were announcing the Kodak All-American, and he could end up there. And San Francisco now is building their lead against New England. So the Cowboys need some help there, too. Here is Herschel Walker. He got a yard, and that's all Struthers, who's now playing quite a bit, number 93 out of Jackson State. Over to make the stop.
And that's the best way to tackle him, is from behind, close to the line of scrimmage.
Guarantee you don't want to get in front of him, right?
Unless he decides to go back and put it in reverse.
We've got the wave going here now at Texas Stadium. 3rd down and 2 now for Dallas. Eagles hold them here. There's a lot of time in this game. 9:44 remaining. Tony Hill split to the near side. Gerard to the top of the field as Pallur has a 3rd and 2. Play action. And he's got his man. That's Cosby, the tight end, who they said they wanted to go to a lot today. And he makes an important third down catch for the first down.
Cosby in the middle of the screen gets a free release. Nobody bumps him at all. The linebacker isn't involved in coverage this time. He's wide open. And for that reason, why they're able to make the necessary yardage for the first down. Terry Hogue involved in coverage that time and wasn't close enough to make the play.
19-yard pickup. Cosby with his first catch of the day, 28th of the season. Again, they have not gone to him that much with their new offensive scheme this year.
I can't understand yet why. Here's a draw play.
They're set, and there's just nothing going on there. Good reaction that time by Greg Brown, but also Alonzo Johnson was over there. A loss of 3. Brown came through first, but it was Johnson who made the tackle.
Watch number 54, Alonzo Johnson. Look at the pursuit on his part. Look at he's number 54 in a great position, good and low, and isn't fooled by the fake and makes the play. A beautiful play by Alonzo Johnson, number 54.
Also Brown, he got a hand on him there. You can see it on that replay. Second down now, 13 yards to go. Valure coming up middle, the pressure, the pass broken up. Boy, that ball, lucky it wasn't intercepted, and it just didn't materialize at all. I guess Walker was the guy it was intended for, but he had 2 offensive linemen, Rafferty and Keitzner, right in his midst. There just wasn't any operating room.
And you see the way Reggie White, number 92, once he got rid of his man, the quick way he accelerated and got to the quarterback to make him throw the ball right into a lot of trouble. I tell you, he's an all-pro player. He's a terrific player and maintains a very high level of intensity throughout the game. That's a great thing about it. He doesn't sag.
I'll tell you, it was a mouthful when Buddy Ryan said that he's the most gifted defensive lineman I've ever been around, and he was around the Bears.
Well, I tell you, one thing he isn't a stock market player. He's not up and down. He's consistent.
Third down, 13 now for Dallas. Valure over the middle, and that one not well thrown. He was waiting for the man to clear over the middle, and it just didn't develop, that man being Newsom, because Greg Brown was hurrying him up, and it's come to a 4th down, and the Eagles are going to get the football.
Watch Reggie White again, number 92, and Brown, number 98. Really is the guy that comes in the inside. He's the guy that gives him a shot right in the smush and knocks him down on the play.
In the what? Repeat that again.
Smush.
A lot of our fans are not familiar with that term. We at CBS hear it quite often.
Well, we ought to call Ed Sable. He'll know.
Anyway, he got hit in the smush, so Saxon's going to have to punt again. Now, he hits this in a mile high. And they're going to let that one make it into the end zone for the touchback. So at the 20-yard line, a 42-yard punt. The Eagles trailing by 1. 80 yards away from the goal line. 8:22 left to play.
The Winning Edge, brought to you by Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler. The winning edge involves more than talent. Physical skills are critical, but instincts often separate champions from challengers. Terry Bradshaw's right arm was a cannon, but the Pittsburgh All-Pro quarterback knew the time and place for all sorts of passes. Cover his receivers close, and Bradshaw would rifle passes by you. Front the receivers, and he would loft the ball softly over your outstretched arm. Bradshaw's instinct gave the Steelers the winning edge.
It's party time!
It's 24C, Ricky. Hey, no Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler? You guys want to put me out of a job? Oh, we're bound.
So, you know I was coming.
No. I knew they were coming.
You must be doing something right.
You did one thing right.
He came home for the holidays.
14-13. Hank, one thing that I think the Eagles was hoping would happen today was Byers would have a day like he did last week, but nothing happening in the second half.
Well, it can't happen if he doesn't get the ball. You know, he's only carried the ball 11 times in the whole game. Hasn't made any yardage at all on the last 5 carries, and the only way you're going to make yardage is to give him the ball. And I think they have to get him back in the game if they're going to do anything on this drive.
And so they're 80 yards away from trying to take this lead. There is Keith Byers, had 127 yards last week in that tie with the Cardinals. That's for the game, but there are no yards at all in the second half. Remember, he started the game out with, what, a 17-yard run. And since that time, it's been tough sledding. Boy, what a personable guy Keith Byers is. What a future he's going to have. That offensive line gets some experience. Get Cunningham continue to develop. That's a handful.
And I think they have to make a real commitment to the running game, too, sir. See if they run right here. They're leaning this way. Nope, play action right.
That's what you wanted, those, that play action. Kavanaugh going for it. Down here is Johnson. Check that Jackson. And he made a fine catch at the 30-yard line. Kavanaugh threw that one a long ways.
Well, he did. He got rid of it. Great anticipation. A beautiful spiral. But again, it's a play action fake. They fake it. They finally throw it on first down. Fellows is the coverage guy on the play, the right corner. And he runs right by him. The ball is thrown right out in front. And Kenny Jackson, number 81, makes the play after he beats Ron Fellows. Look at, he's about 2 yards out in front. Fellows makes a desperate attempt to knock the ball down, but it's 2 out in front. And Jackson makes the play.
49-yard gain to the 31. Byers tries to go against the grain, and he maybe got a yard. Interesting, Hank, you lose Mike Quick, and you got to have somebody kind of come to the occasion, rise up, and it's Jackson. He made that touchdown catch a while ago, and now this 49-yarder. You lose one guy, and the other guy's got to fill the ranks, and number 81 has done exactly that.
Yeah, somebody's always got to fill the void. You know, somehow, some way, you got to win the game. You can't worry about who's going to do it. Somebody has to do it, and that was a big play on the part of Kenny Jackson, and a great throw by Kavanaugh.
Second down, 9.
You know, good quarterbacks might have a bad first quarter, or maybe, but they never have 4 bad quarters if they're any kind of a quarterback, and I think that is typical of the kind of a quarterback Kavanaugh can be.
Kavanaugh throwing that one on a line, and John Spagnola, the tight end, made the catch, and he made it with people all around him. Kavanaugh that time waited just a little longer to get rid of the ball. He was popped pretty good, but the veteran Spagnola caught it. It's 3rd and 2.
Well, as we talked about earlier, I think he's getting more confident as the game progresses. The first time he's played in a long time, and it's hard to come right off the bench and, you know, play like you play if you're playing all the time, but he's getting better.
Well, he always had the label of being the best backup quarterback in the NFL, always waiting to play. Now he's got his chance. He's over 200 yards, 203 yards passing, 13 of 25. 3rd and 2.
They're going to run left.
Tony in motion, Byers, and I don't think he made it. Randy White made sure of that. Now you've got a 4th down, Coach. McFadden has kicked 2 field goals of 26 and 50 yards. Buddy Ryan looking to see how far they've got to go on this.
He's got to kick the field goal. I wouldn't fool around with anything but a field goal.
Here he comes, McFadden, who was ecstatic in that first half on that 50-yarder, his longest of the season. This is going to be a 41-yard attempt.
And I think if he had a choice, he'd rather kick from the left hash mark than the right hash mark, because he kicks a natural hook sometimes, aims it a little bit inside the right upright, and goes right through there in good shape from the left hash mark.
This will be officially a 40-yard attempt by McFadden. It's on the way, and the Eagles have the lead. McFadden, who has absolutely been struggling, and that's an understatement, who was down on himself. And many people felt if he had kicked well at all, they would have won maybe 2-3 more games, and today he's 3 of 3.
Well, he's too great a kicker, and I think he's very sensitive. And he's very demanding of himself. Look at this now. Watch him. Watch him kick it. Watch this reaction. Happiness is in the air. There he is. Look at the two of them. They spend a lot of time together, and they're happy for each other when they do something extremely well.
Well, I think what you have to understand, he's had 3 different holders this year, 2 different snappers, had a different special teams coach. There's some things you have to fight through.
Well, there's a lot of things to consider. And again, the kicker spends so much time alone, you know, without any encouragement sometimes from anybody else. And sometimes they rehearse and they kick too much, especially this time of the year. You got to spend a lot of time with them and make sure that they understand that you're very involved with their phase of the game. You just can't go out and say, kick it through there. I think it has to be developed during the course of the week and during the course of the season.
You don't think the Eagles haven't played some close games, Hank? They've been in overtime the last 2. Ever since that miserable start, and then when they beat the Rams, they've been in them.
Hey, listen, I tell you, any time that you play as well as they play defensively, you got a chance to win any time. And that's the way they've gone. They've lost, I've said so many times, that you're going to win or lose 5 or 7 games with a kicking game. They've lost about 5 with a kicking game.
Kickoff, 2 men there. Levette eventually has it. Levette to the 15-yard line, and that's where Dallas will start. Brazel made the stop. Now for an update on that San Francisco-New England game. Here's Brent Musburger.
Well, the New England Patriots jumped back, Gary. They got this touchdown pass from Eason to Morgan. They are inside of 4 minutes left in the game right now, and the San Francisco 49ers lead it by 5, 29-24. Let's go back to Dallas, and here's Gary.
I'll tell you, Brent, it's going right down to the end of the season. Patriots coming back. Now the Cowboys down by 2. The start of this weekend, 17 of the 28 teams were still in the playoff picture. Shows you how tight it's been. Here's Pelluer. And here he goes. Herschel Walker. Walker, touchdown. Again, Hank.
Nothing but a slant pass to Herschel Walker, who was anchored on the right side in the double wing formation. He runs right inside. It was Andre Waters, it looked like. Ran right inside of him and goes all the way for the touchdown. One play, one lightning.
Lightning has struck twice, though. He had an 84-yard run from the line of scrimmage and now an 84-yard touchdown catch. Look at this for the day. 283 yards in total offense.
That's amazing. Really amazing the way he can change the personality of a game.
Longest pass of the year for this Dallas team, as you might suspect. Point after attempt. Boy, it didn't take long for them to get the lead back. Well, let's look at it again.
See, that's the nice thing about getting somebody in the backfield out on the formation as a wingback. He's out there to the outside, and Waters is playing on the left position, on the left corner, playing him man for man. They just threw the ball inside. They had linebacker helped underneath, but he's got so much speed. Reichenbach was involved in it. Waters was involved in it. He just runs right down the sideline and goes all the way for the touchdown. It's hard to defense speed.
Wow. Well, you know, he said he wanted to go back to running track. Why does he have to run track? He's had a track meet out here today.
Well, he's practicing right now. He's rehearsing for the track season right now on the two plays he made today.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. 22-16 Dallas. Charles Crawford out of Oklahoma State. To the 20, 25, and look at this. Out to the 35, the 40, and some of those big plays continue to develop here. So Philadelphia obviously is not going to give up in this one. 4:50 left in the game. Hank, it's just amazing to me. A guy of Walker's size can run that fast. You know, you see the Dorsetts and the Mike Sherrards, and they have that lean, fast look. Here's Walker weighing 235 pounds. From the 43-yard line, Philadelphia now trailing. Kavanaugh over the middle. Spagnuolo wrestles, and he's got it. Spagnuolo still on his feet, and the veterans to the 30-yard line. Lockhart eventually making the stop, a 26-yard game, and Spagnuolo now made two big catches in this fourth quarter of play.
Spagnuolo does a great job, and Lockhart is involved in coverage. Watch 56. Watch the middle linebacker. Now there he is. He gets a piece of him, then he goes to the outside. He's in hot pursuit. Tries to shake the ball loose, but Spagnuolo maintains possession and runs down the field, and finally tackled by Everson Walls, number 24. Boy, a great play by Spagnuolo.
Line of scrimmage at the 31. First down, Philadelphia trailing 21-16. Kavanaugh going up top. Jackson is there. Touchdown, Kenny Jackson.
Plum mentioned the fact going into the game they could lick fellows on a flag, on a post flag, and here it is, good protection. And look at, he throws it on the outside of Fellows. Here comes the ball coming down. Boy, what a sensational catch by Kenny Jackson. Fellows really was right there in good position to make the play, but Jackson just made a fantastic catch.
Now the 31-yard touchdown catch by Jackson. After earlier catching one for 49 yards, McFadden adds a point after. Jackson has 4 catches now and 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'll tell you, Hank, this crowd is out of breath right now. So much has happened in those last few
game,
seconds.
but I tell you, this is the kind of a game you're always going to see when people play man-for-man coverage. We saw it a couple of weeks ago when they played the Raiders, and this is a duplication of that game because both teams like a lot of man-for-man, and if you have time to throw the ball, you're going to be able to make big plays. No question about it.
Next Saturday on CBS, it's a special edition of the NFL Today, followed by the Green Bay Packers traveling to the Meadowlands to meet Lawrence Taylor, Phil Simms, the playoff-bound Giants. It's NFL action next Saturday, 11 o'clock Central, 12 noon Eastern on CBS. And also college basketball as we have our second week of college basketball. Illinois, the Fighting Illini, 6th ranked against Dean Smith, 5th ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. A lot of offense in this game. 84-yard touchdown pass one way and one coming back the other way for 31 yards. All of a sudden it's 23-21 in favor of the Eagles. And watch this. Carol Clack, a rookie out of Arizona State, almost broke that one. Clack has been lost in the shuffle this year because of the addition of Herschel Walker. Hasn't played that much, but we have a penalty flag.
Offensive holding, number 85 on the kick return team.
That's Chandler, 85, holding on the play.
Thornton Chandler, the rookie out of Alabama, plays tight end. Excellent blocker. He's been a real surprise this year. Chandler, a 6th-round draft pick. So they're going to move it back to the 25-yard line.
Both teams are guilty of the same thing. They both do a poor job on coverage after they score a touchdown.
Well, we've had something going in this 4th quarter in this game now. Herschel Walker with 283 yards in total offense. The record is 285. Bullock, Bob Hayes, and Calvin Hill hold the record. So he's 2 short of that. Here's Pallure. He tries to get rid of it. They may have intentional grounding there. Reggie White had him. That's what they're calling intentional grounding by Pallure.
Reggie White, we talked about him an awful lot all afternoon, and justifiably so. He was involved in another sack.
That's a loss of down.
Intentional grounding. Loss of the down. First, second down.
Let's look at it again, Coach. See what you think.
Here we see Reggie White coming from the left side, back in the pocket. Brown is getting penetration. Struthers is coming through, but look at Reggie White. The only thing, the thing that's questionable is the possession rule. You'd think he was
in the grass.
Yeah, in the grass. I'm surprised they didn't call that.
Well, now it's going to be 2nd and 23 for the Cowboys. Cosby in motion. Pallure setting up at the 2, comes out throwing. He's got Sherrard at the 20, so they get some of it back. They're still about 12 yards short of the first down, and it goes to a 3rd down.
See, the grass thing is such a judgment call, and a couple of weeks ago we had a situation where they just barely touched the guy and they said possession. Now they had him in the grass when they don't call possession. So, it's a tough judgment call to make, evidently. But I thought really he was in the grass.
3rd down, 13 yards to go. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left to go in the game. 23-21, Philadelphia leading Dallas. Cowboys, if they're going to make the playoffs, they've got to pull this one out.
They don't know where to line up. Bernard Wilson is confused. They're playing a zone this time. Now the middle is wide open.
Take off. He's got a long ways to run. Can he get there? He will not. He's short of the first down at the 32. He had to go 13 yards. That was just too far to scramble. Gary Cobb eventually caught up with him. That's going to bring up a 4th down. They're going to go for it here, Hank, or do you punt and try to stop him and get it back?
No, I think you got to go for it. I don't think that you don't have enough time. You got to make the play. You got to try to make the play right here. Go for it on 4th and 2.
I think they agree. That's exactly what they're going to do. Fleur showed me some quickness on that play. Scrambled very well, but it's still 4th down and 2, and here they go.
They got to hit. Try to hit one of the backs in the back, coming out of the backfield, I would think, to make sure they get the necessary yardage in a high percentage kind of a play. Let's see what they call.
We have the 2-minute warnings. What's happened here? 2-minute warning. So the Cowboys will have some additional time to think about this 4th down. We'll be back.
Sure, the pride is back. Plymouth Sundance and Plymouth Voyager are the proof. Plymouth Sundance, the unbelievable American, under $7,800. Sundance, the best value of any car in its class. Versatile Plymouth Voyager, front-wheel drive, car-like handling, spacious Plymouth Voyager. Plymouth's 550 protection plan backs them both.
The pride is back, born in America again.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
The kids really like what we got them for Christmas. Radio Shack Space Patrol walkie-talkies. They're terrific outdoor fun. They have flexible antennas to withstand rugged use. And built-in Morse code keys with the code alphabet on the front, so they can talk or send messages in code. The kids like them, and I love them. Come in, Space Patrol. Time to report for dinner.
Space Patrol walkie-talkies, only at Radio Shack.
Dust off your policies, dig up your bill. Leave it to the good hands, people. Do it right now, or you know you never will.
Come into Allstate and compare our low homeowners rates. You might just save some money.
Check through your files, look high and low. Get down to Allstate, you might save some dough. Leave it to the good hands, people. You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Well, Hank, Tom Landry's been coaching for 27 years, and he's called every play in every imaginable situation. All that experience coming into play now on a 4th down and 2.
And nobody does it any better. Look, he's always calm, cool, and collected. He's always under control. Has a great reason for what he does and why he does it. Let's see what he does here.
Line of scrimmage, the 32.
The last time they were in this situation, they ran a play-action pass. See, no, they're not in a play-action pass situation now. Herschel Walker's on a wing. Whoop, he doesn't know where to go. They might try to get it to him in the flat. Now he's going motion right.
Lure looking that way, and he's going to try to take off. He fumbled the ball. It's picked up by Dallas, but they are short of the 1st down. Rafferty, the veteran center, came up with it, and the Eagles have the football as they've run out of downs.
That play was like cellophane paper because they saw right through it. They brought Herschel Walker from side to side, which was obvious. They were going to try to get the ball to him in the flat, just enough yardage because he breaks tackles so well, but he didn't have a chance to throw the ball to him. He decides to run, drops the ball, it's recovered, and now the Eagles have possession, 1st and 10.
Boy, I tell you, the Eagles have created some excitement, haven't they?
Well, you know, that was a bad time for the Cowboys to have any indecision, and there was indecision as far as the formation and the alignment was concerned, and as a result, they didn't succeed in making the necessary yardage for the 1st down.
And you would think with that 2-minute warning, you'd had time to straighten that all out.
You would think so, and I really think that Walker was on the left wing. He was in a better position to make the yardage there than he was had he sent up the flare and gone across the formation in motion to tell everybody, here I am, this is where I'm going to be, and he was covered.
So now with 1:52 left in the game, the Eagles now just try to hang on to this one. 2-point lead. Get straight ahead, nothing doing, and Cowboys going to ask for a timeout. They'll stop it with 1:48 left to go. Boy, you look at this Eagle team, their last 5 losses by a total of 15 points. They've been in 3 overtime games, losing 1 to the Bears, tying 1, and winning 1.
Well, I read an article the other day about the players. They're saying, you know, I bet you nobody in the league who is out of the race is working as hard as we work. We're still working on the weights. We're still working on conditioning. We're still working hard and long in practice. we're building for the future. We're still going to try to win every game we play. But the attitude of this team is, hey, just because we lost some games doesn't mean we're going to take a vacation. We're still coming to play, and that's what they've done here this afternoon.
Say it's no vacation for the opponent, the way they come after you. They have created all kinds of problems, and Buddy Ryan playing with his young football team. We mentioned 31 guys, 3 years or less. They have 13 rookies, 8 of whom have started this year. He weeded it out. They called it the purge in Philadelphia, and the purge is starting to pay some dividends. That's what I was mentioning earlier. Last 5 losses, 15 points.
You got to remember that Jaworski is still going to be in the picture. You know, he's too fine a quarterback. He's out for the season, but he'll be in contention next year, and I guarantee he's going to put up a fight to be the quarterback again next year.
Dallas with 1 timeout remaining. Here is Tony. And Tony will make it to about the 30-yard line and still run around, but it's been blown dead. And Bill Bates over there, and they're going to have to separate him. Frustration. It's been a frustrating December for this Dallas team, a frustrating last 4 weeks. And so Dallas now with no timeouts left. And so the 20 consecutive winning seasons going to come to an end. This guy's had a lot of success. He's handled, I think, Hank, not only his success well, but the times when he hasn't won. He's a man of some real grace, some real poise.
Well, he's, you know, there's no question about the fact that he's great credit to the game and also to the operation.
Well, let's take this opportunity while we're breaking the action to ask Tom Landry how he has approached this disappointing season.
You got to be depressed when you lose as much as we've lost, but it is a challenge. You have to be able to come back. You know, if you can't come back from adversity, you shouldn't be in this game, because you're going to be in it if you play long enough. Certain circumstances are going to come together and put you in this kind of situation we're in right now, and you have to untangle it and get it going again.
Get it going again, they will. You can bet on that. So Landry, with a 7-7 record, their team now to drop 7-8. They'll finish up next week against the Bears. And look at this, San Francisco defeating New England 29-24, and your cold weather quarterback Montana came through.
Yeah, as I mentioned, he does it as well as anybody in the game.
Jackson has had a big game, comes in motion, fires on a 3rd down and 10, will not get the 1st down. It'll bring up a 4th down with 1:30. Dallas cannot stop the clock. They're out of timeouts. This Dallas team started out with a 6-2 record, and they lost those tough games to the Giants and Redskins. They lost Danny White. They had Dorsett and Walker hobbled. All those combinations have led to them dropping out of the playoff picture.
You know, the funny thing about this Dallas team is their creed has been start fast and finish strong, and they've won opening day games 21 of the last 22 opening day games, but they've been very, very poor and mediocre in December.
Yep. Yeah, they really have. It's amazing what they've done through the years. They're 0-1 prior to today, 0-2 for this December of 1986.
It's a funny thing how you look at this score. Cleveland is dominating Cincinnati 34-3.
Not surprised they're winning, but I'm surprised by that much.
That's right. Especially they're playing the game in Cincinnati, isn't it?
So Buddy Ryan on his way to his 5th win, 9 losses and 1 tie. I'll tell you one thing. You see this team play, you see some football, you get all your money's worth, don't you?
Yeah, they're a sledgehammer team. You know, they keep coming after you all the time. It's a great credit to the coaching staff.
They come after Telchik. You're going to let it hit, and they almost saved it. Did they save it? They may have saved it inside the 5-yard line. They did. Nope, now one guy's indicating touchback.
No, I think he was in the end zone when he made the play.
So it'll come out to the 20-yard line with only 40 seconds left.
And that was Frizzell who made the great play, number 33.
You know what the funny story is on him? Buddy Ryan always has trouble with names. He called William Frizzell Lefty Frizzell when he checked into the Philadelphia camp a couple of weeks ago.
He's going to coach their off-season basketball team.
And he calls Talatasi Junior Smith. Used to call them only by numbers, didn't he, Hank?
Well, I think the other guys, he didn't know the names of the other guys. He just says, hey, you.
Well, this is some win if they can hang on here with 40 seconds to go. No timeouts left for the Cowboys. They trail by 2. They'd like to get close enough for a field goal attempt. Delur's got to use the sideline, and nothing doing there to Gordon Banks. Struthers putting some pressure up the middle that time.
And that's the theory of the defense. Buddy Ryan's defense, they put those 3 big linemen on the 2 guards in the center. They want a big push those people into the path of the quarterback so he can't step and throw. He has to throw from the back foot, and that's what happens. He's going to throw poorly if he doesn't get a chance to follow through.
Line of scrimmage the 20. Second down and 10. 35 seconds left. Dallas to lose their 4th in a row, 6 of their last 7 games. They can't somehow manufacture some kind of a comeback. And this is caught. And did he get out of bounds? Catch by Sherrard. He did not get out of bounds, did he?
No,
he didn't. The clock is running with 20 seconds. 19-yard gain on the play. 17, you see the time left.
Well, now they're going to be careful. This prevent defense, you know, people go right down the field against this prevent a lot of times. If you're not careful.
Delur, and the catch is made out of bounds at the 48-yard line by Walker. Stops the clock. You see the time left. 6 seconds. Walker now 9 catches, Hank, for 170 yards. That's a whole season for some guys.
It's amazing. I tell you, you talk about a guy that makes things happen. He does.
Well, you don't have a lot of options here, Coach. You have no timeouts left. 6 seconds left. You have the football on your own 48-yard line. They're going to send 3 men this way. Banks, Cosby, and Tony Hill, and Sherrard to the far side.
Yeah, they got to hope for a pass interference or some kind of a magic play.
Delur's going to put it up for grabs. Cosby's down there, are the Eagles as well, and Hogue went up, and that is going to be the end of the football game. So the Cowboys will not make the playoffs. They have lost their 4th in a row. Buddy Ryan's team now moves to a record of 5-9-1. A team that in the second half of the season has played everybody as tough as you can play them. Losing 1 game early in the year in overtime, winning another, tying another. It was a game, as you called it, Hank, of big plays. Very difficult to protect your quarterbacks. And the type of game which had a very, very interesting rhythm to it. So you got to congratulate Buddy Ryan. On the other hand, as you watch Tom Landry and the Cowboys go into the dressing room, you realize that you just don't automatically make the playoffs. There's a lot of things that make you successful in 20 straight winning years.
You have to earn the right to make the playoffs.
As an end result, Dallas will drop out. San Francisco winning, they're still very much in the picture. Of course, the Minnesota Vikings still trying to keep their hopes alive. We have the Giants, the Bears, the Redskins in, waiting for the Rams who could clinch with their victory. San Francisco very much on their heels should they stumble. And, of course, Minnesota, who you look back at their season, missing 2 games with Tommy Kramer and missing their punter in 1